It's time for Q&A in the Kitchen, the podcast and YouTube series where tattoo artists in a piercer talk about some of the more common questions and topics that those who collect tattoos and piercings may have. Brought to you in part by Skin Kitchen Tattoo in the Axiom Body Piercing Studio. Today's panel is going to consist of Jack Lowe from Skin Kitchen, owner and operator of Jimmy St. John of the Skin Kitchen, Brent Starr of the Skin Kitchen, and yours truly, DaVo, owner and operator of the Axiom and Body Piercer. Everybody else is a tattoo artist. So we're going to continue the conversation that we started 2 weeks ago on tattoo schools and piercing schools versus apprenticeship. And we'll join the conversation in progress. If you'd like to see the other one or hear the other one, check back in our back episodes. It'd be episode number 20.
And part of it is it devalues your skill.
Yeah,
that
totally.
It's an insult.
Exactly. But like I said, we created that environment.
Yeah, I know.
We helped.
So I want to read you what the website actually says. Tattoo school versus apprenticeship.
Okay. Oh, this will be great.
From them. A tattoo school is a state-licensed educational institution, much like a college. A tattoo apprenticeship is a form of mentorship where the apprentice works for free in exchange for free and capital.
Yeah, and they're not paying you at the school to do it.
And you deserve to be paid for learning stuff.
Yeah, and they don't pay you.
To become a tattoo artist.
All right.
A tattoo school follows a set curriculum and offers consistency, which an apprenticeship does not.
Because everyone's the same.
Quality tattoo apprenticeships are also hard to find. The best artists are often not the best teachers, and most artists are not looking to train a competitor. So unless they need another artist at their shop, they will normally wait to start, or worse yet, graduate an apprentice.
So if you show that you're supporting these tattoo artist factories and you're giving them your money, they want to hire you immediately.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yep. It's
consistent bullshit.
Is there more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it goes on for pages.
Tattoo school, you will have a license and be able to perform tattoos.
In that state.
Perform.
When you complete the apprenticeship, you will still have to find a shop to hang your license so you can start working.
I'm going to get a school at fucking magician. I want to be a magician.
Because everybody knows at a normal college, you go get the education at the college and then you just work at the college.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they got so much work.
Often, the apprenticeship program will offer you this, but in many cases, force you to work under your mentor. The tattoo school gives you a lot of flexibility to study on your own terms and pursue the career you desire.
Yeah, think of how many people you could be rejected by with our program. You're going to meet so many. You're going to go into so many more shops and be rejected by so many more people.
I thought they just said, well, it was structured and you have a time set to and all this stuff, and now saying what's more, you whenever you want.
This is absolutely the best part.
Okay.
Our school offers diplomas in as little as 11 weeks, and our 200-hour program includes 60 hours of hands-on tattooing experience with real humans. Most apprenticeships last between 1 to 2 years and often do not include actual tattoo experience.
Yes, it does.
Oh my God! So
no such thing as an apprenticeship that doesn't involve actual.
How much do they value and respect what they're teaching you if they think that you'll know everything you need in 11 weeks?
11
totally.
weeks.
11 weeks.
11 weeks. You're on your own.
How? How?
It takes a master tattoo artist 2 years to teach you everything you need to know one-on-one.
To get
and it
started.
takes them 11 weeks to completely set you out as a master.
There's so much generalization and all of that that
it shows
not realistic.
It shows the lack of respect for what we do.
Yeah.
If somebody really wants to become an influencer or get like a lot of followers on like Instagram or TikTok, what they should do is camp outside this place on the days when they do the tattooing.
Oh, and
just take photos and video of each tattoo.
See what a graduate,
They got the graduate
tattoo
photos.
artist graduate.
They got the photos of
That
those
was a good
on the
idea,
website.
Davo.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. They're hideous.
We will, contact DaVo if you are around one of these schools and you can time it out and have access to these people and these artists and maybe do interviews with them, maybe be able to see the work they're doing and just not as a
general experience,
but just really to gain the knowledge of what these schools are doing because we could be 100% wrong. They could be turning out incredible, and they really maybe the person who built their site didn't do a great job. Maybe it's an older, whatever. But I would love to have some knowledge of the people that have gone there, or if you have gone to one of these schools, tell us where we're misguided or tell us where we're right.
Yeah.
Any information that you could give would be awesome for everybody.
Or we could put a stack of cards out that everything that comes out of there needs to be fixed and covered up. I'm teasing.
Hey, maybe they're. I'd
like to be
I
wrong.
love being surprised and learning new stuff. So I'd almost rather be wrong and learn that this can be done.
Actually, that'd be a good promotion if you had a studio in that city. Is you just have some guy out there in like a costume of a tattoo machine, handing out cards.
If you have a school, or somebody who's involved with one of these schools, have them contact us. We can maybe do have them on the show somehow.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Awesome. Knowledge is king, and all we want to know is the facts, Jack.
Yeah, what are we missing?
Because let's face it, one of the most common questions we get asked is, how do I get started?
Oh, yeah,
all the time.
And one of the most common comments is, I live in blah, 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 and I've talked to every studio in that town, and nobody will touch me. Mm-hmm. What should I do? And that's where these come up. And the thing I always tell them is keep drawing, draw as much as you possibly can. Mm-hmm. If they're trying to do piercing, it's like, well, you can look into these seminars, you can look into going to the convention, the APP convention in Vegas, and take a bunch of seminars there.
Pick up your knowledge wherever you can get it.
And read and do your research.
Learn anatomy.
And the biggest thing is get pierced, get tattooed.
Yeah, that's the best way to learn.
What this experience is like.
Be a part of it as much as you can. Go to seminars, go to gatherings anywhere you can. Go to competitions. Watch. Find content online that you can, the best of your ability, judge that it's good information. Yeah. The more you can seep in as someone that hasn't got their foot in the door, so to speak, the more knowledge you can gain and show the person that you're seeking the knowledge from that, hey, look, I've done the best I can with all the knowledge I have. I've been watching a lot of this guy. I've been looking at this girl who's this, and that's all going to translate to the person to show them, wow, that's awesome, because that's what I did.
Right.
I scraped and grabbed and coveted every Rip magazine because there was 2 pages where a guy had a tattoo on stage and it was blurred like that,
And you learned how to research.
Absolutely.
Right.
Which is a big important part of this, because oftentimes you might be in a situation where you're in a studio where there's 3 artists that you guys are seeing and hearing the same things all the time. If you don't know how to research new ideas or know whether or not something is a good idea, or go through the process of finding out if using this method or that method is going to be beneficial, and you're hearing conflicting views all over the place and can't judge the difference between the two, that's an important skill, is knowing how to research and knowing how to continue learning.
Yeah. And also, if you're going around to like your local studios trying to find an apprenticeship and stuff, instead of going, hey man, like, will you apprentice me? To do that education, say, hey man, like, I'm interested in getting into tattooing. Is there any websites or like people on YouTube that you can like list for me that would be helpful to me that I could learn from? Like, who do you look at? Who do you check out and like study? And I've given people like information like that, like the artists that I look up to, the artists that I follow, and read their stuff and like check out. And,
that's
and that's that. Do your research, and that's a way to find some research and get on the right path.
And the other thing is that the biggest difference between an 11-week course and an apprenticeship is the ongoing supervision and interaction with your mentor.
Yeah, because you can always go back to your mentor like in 20 years and go, hey, man, call up your, whoever mentored you, John Blow or whatever. Hey, John Blow, man, I had this tattoo the other day that was kind of, gave me a fit, or, I really couldn't figure this out or whatever. Like, well, you got any like input on that? And then, well, hey, you know what, man, I had that happen to me a few years back, and let me tell you how I dealt with it, and you always get that wealth of information to go back to.
That lifeline.
And exactly. And that's something you don't have with a school, I don't think.
So I still haven't found a price, but there is a ton of things on here about loans, and now you can use your GI loan.
Yeah, because that's money well spent.
No way.
I swear, it's on the front page.
That's why they bothered to get credited in whatever state they're in.
I did find where it breaks the whole 11 weeks down for you. So I'm going to read
it.
Lay it on. Let's hear about it.
Week 1, history of tattoo.
That takes a week.
All right.
Yep. Week 2, the art of tattoo. Art styles from different eras and cultures are examined as students begin to practice their art skills on paper.
You can cover that in a week.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. Week 3, Best practices. Students review cross-contamination, sanitation, studio safety, as well as receive their bloodborne pathogen certificate.
Okay.
Week
That's good.
3. Okay.
That's something you definitely will use.
Yes, absolutely.
Week 4, machine technology and skin biology. Students study the specifics of skin biology with a focus on skin health assessment, reducing trauma, clean healing, and interviewing skills focused on conversations with clients about skin issues.
That sounds
And they
really
use
good.
the-
And it only
It does.
takes a
It sounds
week.
good, but it
They
only takes
use
a week.
machine instead of gun in that.
Yeah, that
so
was
At least they
nice.
used
at least
it
there's
now.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another little term for you guys out there: do not go in the studio and call it a gun. Those are for shooting at the range.
See,
That's
you're
too much
fucking it
shooting.
all up, Jimmy.
Sorry.
Now,
Week 5,
how are we going to know who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't?
Exactly.
practical tattoo practice. Basic line and shading techniques are explored as students finally get to dip into ink, starting with guided
Finally.
activities on grapefruits and moving to synthetic skin.
Ooh.
That's
That's
in
like
week
first
5.
base.
Fake people.
So is
Wait.
that part of the 60 hours, I take it?
Yeah.
And you're
it's
doing
gonna be
this-
11 weeks.
So when you get a machine and then you're finally able to use it and you learn how to use it in a week.
You get the first.
Yeah,
base.
but
Okay.
it's
In a-
broken up
a month.
between machine and skin biology in a week.
Oh,
Okay.
but so you're tattooing during that time?
No.
Okay,
not yet.
but that's the next week. You're actually tattooing,
Next
right?
week you're going
Right.
to use it.
And that's a
Taught you.
week.
The
You're
next
grapefruit.
week, week 5 is practical tattoo practice. That's where you
Okay.
learn how to do lines and shading techniques on grapefruits.
Yeah, that takes a whole week. That's like a day.
I know. Well, week 6, you're on to skin. Practice
Holy
skin.
crap.
Students
Okay.
are encouraged to use their original art throughout the practice stages.
Yeah, don't learn about any other things that you'd want. Just focus on what you want to do. It's about you.
Wait, week 7, intro to shop life. You're already in a shop in week 7.
Shop life.
I mean,
7 weeks you're in a tattoo shop
You're
putting
in a
tattoos down
shop, yeah.
on living people.
week
So that-
8,
yeah.
consultations.
Okay.
And
Shouldn't you
taking a-
consult your
whole
customer
week?
before you start tattooing them?
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems a
That's a
little
little
flippy flappy, but
horse before the cart, but
you have to
whatever.
have knowledge to be able to do the consultation.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Week 9, artist responsibility. That's ethics, artistry, and excellent customer service are further emphasized as students build their portfolio during the Family and Friends Week.
Cake and punch.
What?
You know what that is? That's
What?
bring in your fucking
Whoever wants
volunteer
free
family.
tattoos, yeah, whoever volunteers.
BYOB, we got burgers on the grill.
Yeah.
Week 10, client care and self-marketing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's going to be. This is how you post to the
You dress up
internet.
really pretty and get on the corner. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Week 11, this is your last week. Customer service and business management.
A week to learn how to
Yeah.
manage a business.
Yeah, totally.
Graduation week is spent preparing the students for their future careers in the tattoo industry.
Oh, boy.
By reviewing their bodies of work and helping to build portfolios for
Yay.
presentation.
And
Does anybody remember Undercover Boss?
Yeah.
I think somebody like a
Well-
professional tattooer should go undercover
Oh,
and
what-
go into the school.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd
dude,
be
that would be
fucking
and
awesome.
film it and,
And
and like
film
document
it,
it.
tell
Yes.
them that it's a
Yeah, it's for a documentary
it's
or
like
something.
a reality
Yeah.
show.
that's a
No,
good idea.
That
no,
would be awesome.
idea.
No, I would undercover the whole way. You're
Yeah,
never
wear the
going to get the
glasses
true
with the-
story if they know
with
that
the
they're going to
cameras.
be on a show.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they are on the internet. They're
Yeah.
a show. They don't have to perform. So you're going to get the same
Yeah.
bullshit if
Go
they
in
know.
with your camera
You go
glasses
in
and stuff, just
undercover,
undercovered, yep.
and that's, I mean, Veritas, man, what's up?
That'd be awesome. Like, hey, man, I really want to learn how to tattoo, man.
Yeah, that would be awesome to really.
If I could afford to, I'd go down there and do that.
And I would be way happier if I was surprised at the end than if I was validated.
Yeah.
Just to say
Yeah.
it.
I wanna see
don't.
if they can-
I don't want these schools to suck. I don't
Right.
want
I don't either,
these
but-
schools to be putting out bad things and telling people bad things. You know, I would love if they were enriching these people that want to go out and better the art. So I would rather be wrong on this because it would benefit the tattooing.
Could you
if they-
sandbag
and
enough to make it look like you are really trying to learn, you know, for most of the...
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and
you
then right at the end, you
say-
like do some stuff like you normally do and be like, boom, oh, look how great that student is.
yeah, that'd be great. Like, oh my God, you're the star
You're like
student.
Picasso, man.
Wow.
We're putting
man.
you on the brochure, bro.
Yeah, you're going to be the face of the school, bro.
Oh boy, you could come their golden boy that way.
You want to be like the
so-
principal or the dean or whatever they call it?
Yeah, you could go a lot of ways with that. You
That's
could
funny.
sell the footage to a bigger company who wants to take take
Yeah,
it,
expose
and
it.
or you could put compile it and put it out yourself, or you could take it to a tattoo shop that wants to start a school of their own and point out how the other guys suck. I mean,
Yeah, all kinds of ways
money,
to do this.
honey. I mean, there it is.
There's some ideas there.
You
There's
wanna
a get rich quick.
You want to scrape some money off the outside of that nuclei.
There it
There
is.
you go.
So-
But you still have to spend 11 weeks there.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing going on.
Just during the day. I mean, they don't go all night,
Maybe
mean-
when we all retire, we'll do it.
How exciting can your parents' basement be?
right?
So we all know I deal with the people up front.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the one that gets the questions the most about
Mhm.
tattooing apprenticeship.
hmm
And I have probably seen maybe 25 people in the last few years that come in wanting an apprenticeship. I have not had one walk in with a portfolio.
Nope.
Not
Yeah,
one.
that's
Wow.
strange. To
Not
me.
even one
Two.
drawing.
I have told every single one of them, I'm like, if you really want to apprentice, the best way to go about it is to research your artist and then show up and just keep showing up until they finally give in.
Yeah,
I
Until they
have
put a
never
broom
had
in your
one
hand.
person come
Yeah.
back.
Right.
prove you want
Not
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, prove that you want
They
it.
never come back.
Never.
Yeah.
I've never had
And-
one come back out of the 25 people.
I never tell, and I've taught a few people, and I won't anymore, so don't even try. But I've apprenticed a handful of people, and I've never told any of them when to be there and when to leave.
Nope. You don't need to.
I shouldn't.
No,
They should be there before I get there, and they
And
should
they'd
be
be there
behind me when
when
I'm
you're
locking
leaving.
the door.
Yep.
because they're
You know.
new to this and they got all the energy.
Right. You should
still.
be like a sponge.
Well,
just
if you
waiting
do you
to get
want it or
there.
not?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you know how my life changes if you weren't here. It
None.
gets better.
Yeah.
I have more time for myself. I have more energy for myself. I have less stress. I have less responsibility.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Yeah.
Seriously. If you want what I have, you fucking got to take it. I'm willing to give it to someone who's willing to take it. I'm not going to try to teach
Yeah, I'm
you.
not chasing you down to teach
Okay?
you. something.
You have to make me teach you.
Before
Show me you want to be taught because fuck you. Life's hard enough. I got enough shit going on, and you are not a priority at all.
Before I had an
having
apprenticeship, dude,
another-
I used to do
another
that. I'd go to
apprentice,
tattoo shops like the one down the street from me, the Dave Casper owned. He was gracious enough to let me hang out and be part of it. And man, I would go there. Like, I would go by there every day, even on days I knew they were closed. And if his car was outside, I'd go knock on the door and like, hey, man, what's up? Like, you doing a tattoo today? And he's like, no, I'm just tuning some machines. I'm like, you mind if I hang out? I'll be, he knew I was going to be quiet and I'd stay over there. I wouldn't say nothing. I would just watch and try to pick up.
Those are the
stuff.
kind of people that get offered an
Right.
apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Well, after a while, like I said, about after the first year, I remember one night, and I would stay there like during summer, I would go open to close. And if they closed at 10 o'clock and he'd stay till 3 in the morning, I'd stay till 3 in the morning. I didn't want to leave that place unless I had to.
Right.
I wanted to know
And if
everything
you,
about it.
even if you
And
couldn't draw,
Oh, yeah.
you've got the love and the drive.
I
I'll
wanted to learn
teach
it.
you.
Yeah.
I can teach you
I
how to
can teach you
draw.
how to do that.
That's the hard
Right.
part.
Yeah.
Is
But
getting that.
He looked at me
dedication.
one night, like over his glasses. He's working on a machine. He looks up and I see him kind of like glancing at me. And finally he says something. He goes, dude, you're going to be a tattooer. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, like, you're relentless. You're here every day.
Yeah.
You before I open, after I close, you sit here for hours. When all the other kids are out partying, drinking, chasing girls, you're sitting here watching me build a machine.
Yep.
I said, but this is fascinating.
Right.
Dude.
There's
This is
nothing
what I
else
want
I'd
to
rather
do.
do.
He's like, right. You eat, sleep, and breathe this. That's how I know you're going to do this.
It says so
Exactly.
much more than a piece of paper that
Yeah, man.
just said 11 weeks in
Yeah.
Florida,
Yeah.
sitting
tough
there learning some. Yeah,
So
maybe-
hopefully now it makes sense why when you come into someone's home and you ask them to teach you their life blood
Yeah.
that they've dedicated their movement
Teach me your
through
family
this
secret. Yeah.
world to achieve, and you come in thinking you've got something with this stupid piece of paper that you got jerked off out of.
Yeah.
It makes you even less.
crazy.
It makes you less desirable than someone who doesn't
Yeah.
come in
It really does.
with that,
Yeah.
or who someone comes in without that.
It really does.
and pictures help.
I don't know.
I think if
mean,
somebody came in,
portfolio,
if somebody came in and they had a full, nice proposal, they've done the work
yeah.
and they've just they didn't know better, so they went through this
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
that might be different.
That's
Right,
different.
totally.
Yeah.
But if you just walk in with a certificate,
No.
Well, I've apprenticed a couple people over my years, and I'm not interested in doing it either. Just FYI.
I have.
But everybody that comes in, even to this day, is like, "Hey, man, like, how do I get into this? I'm interested in doing it." I'm like, "Where's your artwork? Huh? Do you draw?
Do you draw?
Do you have artwork?
Yeah.
Where is it? Because if you're asking me how to get into the tattoo world, it's obviously art. Where's your art?
If
Do
you're
you make
asking
art?
me,
show me.
If you're asking me how to get into it, you're never going to get into it.
If you're a carpenter, you got a carpenter pencil or tools on you.
How do you get into anything you love and want to do? It just, you make it there. You're present. You go to the car show. You build a car. You bust your knuckles.
You don't take no for an answer.
You're covered in paint all the time. You know, you are. You don't have to ask how to get into something if you want to get into something.
You're already making it happen by then.
You are going to surround yourself with it. You're going to find every picture. You're going to look at every story. You're going to follow every artist that you love, and you're going to know. You're going to just, you are going to be in it as far as you can without that foot in the door, we'll call it. And that question doesn't exist to someone who really wants to learn how to play guitar. How do you get into playing guitar? You know,
you don't have to
come
ask
on,
that.
man.
You
buy the most.
You start doing it.
You do it as much as you can and gain knowledge along the way until you are it.
The guy that apprenticed me probably told me no, get the F out of the shop. 30 times.
It ain't
before
about
I
asking.
apprenticed. No, but like, you know what I mean? I just kept showing up and showing up.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and sometimes he threatened me like, don't fucking come back. Get out of here, dude. Like, if you ain't got no money to spend on tattoos, get the fuck out of here. And like, I'd show up with like drawings every day. Like, I'd show back up with drawings and stuff. Like, hey, man, I worked on these drawings last night. Like, he's like, I don't care. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, just over and over. And finally, he was like, hey, man, do you know how to put these balls on these shafts for the, you know, tongue barbells?
Yeah.
Do you know how to put the balls on the things? Because they came in separate bags at the time. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, there's 2-gallon bags of them. And I sat there and was like, you know, I didn't go, do I have a job? No.
First day of your apprenticeship.
The first day of my
there.
apprenticeship right there. I sat there and put 1,000 barbells together. And then he's like, do you know how to bag them and autoclave them? I was like, I know how to bag them, but I'm not sure how to use the autoclave. I'm going to show you one time.
Boom.
And he walked me back there, showed me, and I'm not asking questions in between. He showed me how to do the autoclave. He's like, you got it? Don't blow the fucking thing up. I'm like, okay. And I sealed all this stuff, and I, you know, sterilized all this jewelry that I put together. And that was about the end of the 8 hours of day one of apprenticeship.
Yeah, and that was after how long of you showing him that I love this stuff?
Over a year.
I just want to be around it. I just want to smell that green soap.
Over a year.
You know, that's all. That's what I want.
I want to hear the buzz. I want to smell the soap. Like,
and that's just to unlock his idea of maybe sharing what he knows with you. So can you get that from giving $5,000 or $10,000 to a school?
No.
Maybe.
No.
I don't think so. Not from what I've seen.
Nope.
I don't think that's the best
not in
way.
my experience.
Now, that's not saying that somebody who's talented and just was born with a machine in their hand couldn't go through this and and become successful. But shit, you could train them on a desert island. They're going to scrape some coal out of the fire and mix it with something, and they're going to be tattooing it. It's going to be beautiful. But my opinion is I have not seen a school that is turning out what I would think would be an acceptable, passable person that I would ever consider hiring.
It portrays it kind of as a little bit too easy, I think. It sets the road just seems way too attractive for somebody that doesn't really...
It's sport clips.
And
exactly. Good way.
Doesn't,
I don't want to know the studios. I'm guessing the studios that are going to hire these people are...
The same way.
Yeah,
that have that same mentality,
them.
like I said. They're outside scraping off what they can get.
I can't think of anything that would just basically dissipate any passion or love you have for it,
rather
than getting stuck in some studio.
That's going to teach you what it is,
with people that you don't like or don't want to be there, and it's all competitive.
That's why you're going to burn out.
Shop, and you're
going to run it.
You know, tattoos as fast as you can because that's the only way you can make any money.
Yep, because you're approaching it from that direction, from that business, from that.
Never learning anything new.
Right.
And there's partly because there's no time to learn anything new.
Dude, I was apprenticing for I bet a good several weeks before I even heard the boss go, all right, see you tomorrow. Like, I didn't get asked, you going to be here tomorrow, or like told to be here. We left, he was like, all right, and just hopped in his truck and left. And like, you know, and some kids are like, well, he didn't tell me to come back tomorrow. F that.
Screw that.
My ass did work today. That means I got a job. I'm going to be here tomorrow. And I was here before he showed up. I was waiting on him.
And he trusted me.
Yeah, to
and
show up.
Saw me as useful.
Yeah.
He's trusting me around his stuff.
Yeah.
And he thinks that I am able and capable.
Well, maybe I was just a laborer, but tomorrow I could be a laborer again.
What more does a teacher need to know from their student?
Plus,
that is the basic, building block right there.
Yeah.
And you have
I know
to
you
prove
want
that.
this.
Yeah.
You've proved that you want it.
$5,000 don't prove it, and that's why
No.
they ain't giving it to you.
Asking me once, $5,000, showing up with no artwork does not prove that you're serious.
No. So you're never going to get that true knowledge that person has that made them who they are, that makes you want to learn from them, unless you trust them and are ready to accept that, hey, that might sound stupid. Sanding the floor doesn't mean anything when it comes to tattooing. But there's a reason, and you have to trust that reason, not think that, hey, I gave you $5,000.
Right. And then saying
screw the $5,000.
Why am I cleaning toilets?
Well, and the people that say, like, well, I'm not getting paid for this. Yes, you are. You're getting paid with knowledge.
Duh.
First off, you don't get paid to go to college.
Duh.
It costs you tens of thousands of dollars to go to college.
So that right there shows you don't even get it.
Geez,
Right.
I'll wash your car, paint your fence.
I walked away from $180,000 a year job to pierce and tattoo.
Yeah.
And see, the thing that, and something that you need to understand, why one of the reasons why we're all very particular about people will take on as an apprenticeship is, in a large part, we see it as our legacy.
Yeah, man.
Our name will always be
An
attached
extension.
to that person,
Yeah.
and that thing's going to be like a calling card when you go other places.
Yes.
And you're
These
going
are
to pull
secrets
out,
you
you're going
pass
to
your
pull out
child.
that Jack Lowe or DaVo
Yeah.
or Brent or Jimmy and
Yeah.
go, this guy is who I apprenticed under.
Yeah, you're tied
And
to me.
Everything that's tied to your reputation and everything that's tied to
tied
my
to that.
reputation is on that card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you go and be a screw up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
that's on me.
automatically it falls back
Yeah.
on me and my legacy.
It's just like pulling a card saying you went to community college and you're a lawyer, or you went to Harvard and you became a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, did you just, get the piece of paper to say the cheapest way you could and
Right.
just doing it for that? Or did you really want to know? Did you want to become the best you could be because, God damn it, I'm going to, put Two-Face in jail? Those are, those are the two paths, right?
It is.
And if you really love and you want to catch that Two-Face too, you want to see a person with that same passion. You don't want some jerk off that just wants to carry a gun.
This is the stuff you would pass on to your children. You know what I mean? Like in the old days, people would do
Right.
that sacred stuff. All of us sitting here have kids.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of us have kids in the industry that work in the industry.
No.
And it's not because we didn't want to pass it on. Like if my kids wanted to do it, I would have loved it.
I'd have
But I
cried.
haven't showed none of my children have showed the interest in doing what I do. Number
Right.
one. And like you said, it's something that's sacred. You don't just give it to anybody. If I'm not just going to force it and show it to my kid because they're my kid, I sure as hell ain't going to show it to some stranger
Right.
walking down the street and say, hey, man, I like what you do. Cool.
And I think sometimes kids growing up with parents that are tattooers, they see that
How much
blood,
It's
sweat,
not
and
easy.
tears goes into this industry.
That's a
watch
really
you
how
good
struggle.
much
point.
you live it
Yeah.
rather than and
like-
how much stress it creates.
Yeah.
It's like
And you
people
know
that
what?
grow up
And
with
do
a
I
restaurant.
want that?
Right.
Exactly.
Or do I have that same passion it takes?
Yeah.
Because, they grew up with it. It's just normal.
Yeah.
So when they, like anybody grow up, you see your dad going to the coal mine covered in shit. You're like, man,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I got
Right.
what that takes,
Yeah.
So that's a very good point, because anybody who's grown up with a father or a mother who's a tattooer sees them always
Yes.
doing
And they-
tattoos or drawing
And
tattoos.
they've seen-
Living.
they've been
Talking
in the
about
studio.
tattoos, researching tattoos. That's all they do. So yeah, as a kid growing up with that, I could see that as off-putting.
Yes.
As being, gee,
Oh man, that
That's a
seems
small
like it's-
amount of kids that grow up, under tattooers that I've known, that their kids follow in their footsteps.
That's a good
There
point,
are
yeah.
some, but there's not like you think it is.
Yeah,
Like, it's not all these
I think
legacies.
I
the
never really-
generation before I saw more of it.
yeah.
Used to be.
This new one,
Yeah.
It's like,
this
Not at all.
generation, not so much so.
Yeah.
But yeah, my kid, I mentioned it to him, and I said, he knows if he wants to learn,
Yeah.
I'm here.
I've offered it to all my kids.
But I'm not going to be mad if he doesn't.
No,
Right.
not at all.
No,
I
God,
want them
yeah.
to find their own way,
Yeah.
do what they want to be happy.
Man, I don't know what makes me happy. How the fuck do I know what makes you happy,
Right.
man? I ain't
I don't
gonna
need
Go
responsible
find
for all
that
that,
kid
man. That's
on
too
your
heavy.
own.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
I got a piss, Davo. Should we wrap it up?
know,
Or?
they've
I think
been
we beat this
coughing a
one,
bunch.
yeah.
Well, for those that have stuck around this long, thank you for watching and listening. I hope you learned something. I hope it was insightful and etc. Till next time, here's hoping all your tattoos and piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, we all hope to see if your tattooing and body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody.
Be good, guys.